Check. A few general instructions before we commence with the event. I request everyone to ensure that their phones are either in airplane mode or silent mode to avoid interrupting the flow of the event. I request you to please limit your appreciation to applause only. Kindly refrain from hooting or shouting. The audience is requested to maintain the decorum of the auditorium. A very good afternoon to you. I would like to begin by quoting Louis L'Amour. Knowledge is like money. To be of value, it must circulate. And in circulation, it can increase in quantity and hopefully in value. Today is a momentous occasion where knowledge evidently moves from people of experience to us, the generation of tomorrow. Knowing this, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to Daksh 2023. I am Nathan Mark Thomas, along with Shweta Nair of the 4th semester from the Department of Architecture.
Daksh, the annual Education and Career Guidance Fair, hosted by the Student Council of Christ Deemed to be University, is a comprehensive resource catering to all your educational requirements. Daksh opens a gateway to various exclusive opportunities, expert advice along with essential career guidance, and provide you with all the information that you need to make informed choices regarding your education and career. Without any further ado, we present our sessions for the day: Sustainable Future 2030 Strategy of Bangalore International Airport and Conservational Architecture.
I would like to welcome Dr. Father Thomas T.V. in his absentia, Dr. Father Soni J. Chundat in his absentia, Director School of Engineering and Technology, Father J.B. Jose in his absentia, HOD School of Architecture, Dr. Anita Susilan in her absentia. I would like to invite Professor Shankar Hosakare, architect, who is one of the founding professors of our college, to welcome you all formally to this forum.
Good afternoon. Nice to see a decent bunch of students. I wonder why they are all in black. A happy new year to all of you. I welcome you to this wonderful event this afternoon. Before I say anything else, a warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Sridhar, and Miss Fancy Joseph. Welcome you once more, sir. I'm here on behalf of the School of Architecture. And to brief you a little bit more as to why we are here and why we have you as the specialist for the afternoon, this is an annual event where we try and bring industry into academia and carry them through to choose their career. We feel that this particular event has done wonders through the years. Our alumni will speak for it. On behalf of School of Architecture, I stand here with much pride, I must say. Majority of the students who are present here are from School of Architecture. I'm sure they are waiting to hear your wealthiest wisdom that you would like to share with us. Our school was founded 7 years ago. We have 2 batches of architectural graduates who have gone out and have been doing fairly well. I must say, not just in India, outside of the country, in other developed nations. I hate to admit that we are developing anymore. I think we are equally challenging, and thanks to these students who have done wonders out in the world. School of Architecture has been attempting in many fold to connect with the industry. We strongly feel that industry is where students will thrive tomorrow. So we want to prepare them, not as trainees, but as contributing designers, maintaining the stability of this growing world. Sustainability has been a stronghold and a pedagogy that this school has been promoting from the inception. And I have been responsible for some of the efforts. My colleagues have done equally well. We are almost 30 strong in the school, grown quite well, accepted in the country. We have students ranging from the very northeast to the very south of this vast, rigorous country that we live in. I guess I'm going to close this very quickly. Look forward to hearing your wonderful views this afternoon. I welcome you one more time. On behalf of the entire management of the Christ University, who has been gracious enough to provide us all the facilities that we have ever wanted. A thank you to them and a warm welcome to all of you one more time.
Thank you, sir. We will now introduce our first speaker for the day.
We are beyond honored to have amongst us Mr. L. Sridhar, an experienced sustainability professional in the field of ESG, environment, climate change, strategic planning, water, circular economy, energy, supply chain sustainability, audits, and P&L management. He is duly committed to the development and implementation of initiatives for a sustainable future. He is currently working at Bangalore International Airport Limited as the head of sustainability. At Bangalore International Airport Limited, he drives the Sustainability Strategy 2030, which supports 11 UN SDGs directly and 6 other UN SDGs indirectly.
He is responsible for environmental, social, and governance drive across Bangalore International Airport Limited. UN Global Compact Principles, Airport Council International, Carbon Accreditation Program, Green Building Certification, Carbon Sequestration, Strategic Implementation of Pillars, Water Stewardship, and so much more.
He demonstrates deep understanding of industry and marketplace of ESG impacts, building ESG awareness and competency in the processes and culture within the organization with the use of technology to continually learn and share the knowledge with the stakeholders.
Mr. Sridhar completed his bachelor's in chemical engineering, postgraduate diploma in business analytics, diploma in industrial safety, green belt in Six Sigma, C2 Confederation of Indian Industry, certified resource efficiency and environment sustainability auditor, senior leadership program from IIM, and he is currently part of the United Nations Global Impact Governing Council and contributing for the collaborative sustainability drive in the country. His key focus areas are environment, labor, anti-corruption, and human rights. Sir, it is an absolute privilege to have you here at Daksh. I would now like to request Professor Uma Yadav to kindly honor Sir with a plant from Christ University.
Good afternoon, all. Let me be a moderator for some time. I think a very long introduction. So I would like you to keep your expectations low. So please do not keep very high expectations from what has been read out. We'll try to do a justice to some part of what has been read out. Good afternoon, and wish you all a belated Happy New Year and a very good career ahead and successful aspirations ahead, completion of your aspirations. What is sustainable future to your mind? I'm not your professor. I don't have any authority to give any marks to you or to reduce any marks for your mistakes. In a lighter vein, whatever comes to your mind, what is sustainable future? Let's have a bit of a one or two interactive thing because I would like to introduce you to this subject. You're all very brilliant students. I know that your professors also have told how passionate you are. I have also seen the way you have organized this entire event, the type of minute detailing, getting up to the level of minute by minute itinerary and everything, and that too well in advance, the type of planning you did. I am 100% confident you have demonstrated you have a commitment to do an event 1 month in advance. You thought about it well in advance. That is the sustainable future which we try to do in corporate. Think about next decade, 20 years later, what will happen to the Mother Earth and to the organization and to the community as we exist, how we are going to make our existence future ready and sustenance. When we say sustainability, we talk about a lot of jargons. We are paid to do a job of sustainability, so we are so fond of using so many jargons. In a lighter vein, let me tell you, if a new joinee induction today morning we had in our organization, so many times I try to prepare in such a way that for every new joinee induction, like first time I'm going to talk to the newcomers. Believe me, I always try to not to use any jargons in the thing who is not used to it, and first time in my sense of jargon in this sustainability is who is not tuned to that language, try to tell in the language. This I have learned from my daughter, who said first time when she asked what is sustainability for her school competition few years back, I thought, okay, somebody has asked, chalo, let's keep a big lecture. She said, stop. 30 seconds, you have to create an interest on this topic. 60 seconds, I should have an inclination to listen to you, otherwise I don't want to listen. That was the first challenge in life I got, like how simple we have to put up to the people. Today's morning new joinee induction coming back, I inadvertently use some jargons. So from that time, what we are doing is, please pardon me for a few minutes, I'll be taking you through some questions and definitions. It's not that you are not aware of it. For my own satisfaction that I have connected you with the right words, what we use it, so that next 30 minutes or so, whatever we talk about it, we will have a meaningful interaction. Are you okay with that? Because today's generation, especially at home, I used to be very careful because you know much better than us. And definitely you should not feel like why I'm taking with the basic starting. This is only to reconnect to the subject. And before that, there is something in green over there is our sustainability vision for our organization. And I'll also clarify, many times these confusions happen in public because we use two names, Kempagoda International Airport, Bengaluru. When you hear this, that is the airport name. BLR Airport name is Kempagoda International Airport, Bengaluru, and I am from Bangalore International Airport Limited. The operator, we operate the Kempagoda International Airport, Bengaluru. So both names are right. One is the airport name, another is the organization which it operates it. So we have kept a sustainability vision covering the entire aspects of environment, social, and governance. How do we do for the 2030? Before that, I think I am doing a mistake. Can somebody help? No problem. No problem. I'll take care. No problem. Thank you. Sustainability, when we say, the green one is the normally used definition. So in very simple terms, whatever resources we are using today, we should leave it for the future generations. Our predecessors, our ancestors have given the resources. Today, what we are utilizing it, the same we should leave it for our further generations. When we say sustainability, immediately we will say 3 Ps: people, planet, and profit. Why is it important? Only focusing on people and planet and not doing profit, we will not be able to take care of people and planet. If we do only profit, we will not be able to take care of people and planet. And all 3 are equally important, and that is where the sustainability gets balanced so that we exist in harmony with nature. And how many of you are familiar with SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations? Oh, sure. So, thank you. So, these are all the Sustainable Development Goals 17, which have come up a decade back, almost 7-8 years back, where every part of sustainability is mapped to it, the framework. And UN Global Compact, United Nations Global Compact, where I am currently serving as a Governing Council member for India Network, it has come up almost in the beginning of this century. And GRI came even 2-3 years before that, Global Reporting Initiative. So people all started practicing from the early beginning part of this century, the reporting framework. This entire slide, see it in 3 different things where we have given the spacing. The first one, what you're talking is the definition of sustainability. I missed it out to ask one question. What is ESG and sustainability? We should ask these questions always because most of the time we interrelate and talk sustainability in one paragraph, or after 5 minutes of this speech, I may be using the word ESG, because all are by and large same, we can say in a very simple term, all comes under sustainability. In a very simpler terms, if we have to address the ESG part of it, we have to be clear. It talks about the risk, what the company will face because of the environment, social and governance risk. What is the impact to the organization, the framework in which it assesses the company and overall. Sustainability goes even beyond larger in a practical term if you have to explain. It covers ESG also, and also how it interrelates its company's actions with the external environment. So all are similar, but when we use in the context, the framework, it will change. ESG rating, needless to say, how many of you believe we are all part of credit rating? Or how many of you believe it is only for organizations, credit rating? We are all part of it. The moment when you walk out and then take up your careers, we all will get into this CIBIL score and all. So each individual, we will be assessed for our credit worthiness if we have to take a loan and all from the banks. Like that, every organization has a credit rating if they have to go, if the banks have to lend to them. Then what is ESG rating? ESG rating is something where how the performance of the organization within the ESG framework, how the sustainability is implemented, and how the organization is taking care of its risk so that the organizations also exist and it also takes care of the community and the Mother Earth. So why ESG rating is important? Only credit rating is alone will be sufficient, no? Wild thought, no right or wrong answer. I have learned sustainability like that. First, no hesitation. I mean, you just tell why ESG rating. I'll try to lead you to the answer. If a credit rating of an organization is say some X percentage and you are getting at 10% interest and your ESG rating is extremely high, what will happen? Interest rate will go up or come down. Audible? Interest rates will come down, which means the worthiness of the organization is seen as a much better. This organization will exist. It's taking care of the environment, sustainability, so it exists, so there is no risk for the bank much to lend. So they will give at a lower interest. So now try to correlate my suggestion. The first line you go back. All these things leads to people, planet and profit. Agreed? Once this slide is something which we are all on same page, remaining slides actually not required. You are all such as, I heard that you are all very brilliant people. Actually, you will take this session further. So straight away, we will go to what is our strategy for 2030. So I'm sure each one of us will have a strategy. After 5 years, where we have to be. After 10 years, what we have to be. When I joined the career, the maximum planning used to do at that point of time, the exposure what I had was for a 5-year plan. We used to think like, what 5-year plan? We don't know what to do next year. What is that we will do for 5-year plan? Then it became like, we think for 10 years, a decade, 2 decades. Now as the thing evolved, the sustainability evolved, now we have to look for decades ahead of us. People would have heard like 2050 targets, 2030 targets, 2035 targets. People are talking about thinking 2 to 3 decades from now. That is how we have to be ready for future ready. So that is why this entire strategy goes into identifying the risk for the future, both from within and outside, and how we will sustain our resources so that we don't spoil it. So what is the first line in that, the touch lives? Sometime back I told you in the first slide, that is related to us as Bangalore International Airport Limited is our vision, sustainability vision, which is derived out from the overall company's vision. So if, as a student, when I was 3 decades back a student, my maximum vision was like I have to, any guess? Sorry? Pass out. Exactly. That's all only vision I had. You are all brilliant people. You will have much better visions. So when in the early 90s, my only thing was like I have to complete well. This is the scoring we should do. Whether I got the score or not is different, but I had an aspiration for a score and then land in a job. Today, I am sure 99% of you will not be thinking only that. You will be thinking that is important. Beyond that, I'm sure you will have some aspirations. After landing in a job, what I should do for 5 years, 10 years. So that is the target part of it. Then you will also plan like how we will do it. How part is important or not? Correct? No. So these 6 key strategic pillars are how part of it, which will help us through these pillars to realize our aspirations. And we have done a plan for a beautiful building. You're all architects. I have a colleague came with me who is an architect working with us in sustainability. He can vouch for it. So what is you have planned for a beautiful building. You have to start from somewhere. Exactly, the foundational values is what you are seeing over there. So we have a 3-pronged approach. We have set a vision. We have said like how we will achieve the vision through the strategic pillars. Then comes the core foundational values, how we are going to support these pillars. Because if you don't have a value system, these pillars will not stand. In that, most important part of it is that, any guess? Which is the most important pillar in this, in your opinion? We talk a lot about carbon and climate change. In that context, yes. Because we today, if you see in any of the thing, as the climate change is spoken much, but we should give focus equally important. Sustainability is a balanced approach because there is no 100% elimination in sustainability. Sometimes a 100% solution may open up a problem somewhere else. So we have to have a balanced approach to sustainability. All are equally important. And one foundational value, which is very close to every individual in this, the last foundational value, even now as students, even people who are just kids in schools, corporate guys, industries, everybody needs one core foundational value in this, other than compliance, other than corporate social responsibility. Behavioral change. When I say behavioral change, it's not that we have a bad behavior as a human race and we have to change our behavior. No, we have to work on our strengths. Today, what is happening in sustainability is embedded in our DNA. As a human race, we have been doing it for centuries and centuries together. In between, we forgot it. And some of us do it in a subconscious mind. And we have to bring it to the conscious mind. And then we have to try and see how we will transform this thing and we will have a positive infection in the society, not the corona infections. Because sustainability, seeing is believing. Demonstration is the key. After talking with you for an hour and then I go out and do opposite to what I speak, then this entire credibility goes. So demonstration is the key. So that is how we are focusing on the sustainable transformation, behavioral change, wherein which we are able to bring the sustainability to the individual level. So it is practiced in the individual space, in the personal life. And the secondary derivative is the corporate goals in which automatically the deliverables happens. The primary goal is to see how as an individual we will get positively infected to the idea of sustainability and then we will be able to drive that for the future. I will not explain you much on this. I will only touch upon two points. Water stewardship. The moment the name suggests, we wanted to do whatever the best we can do in the water stewardship to increase the water table of the place where we are. Today we are recovering almost 1/3 of our potable water requirement from the rainwater harvesting systems, and our water positive index is 2.36. Any idea, wild thought like what is water positive? When I say water positive index 2.36, which means for every liter of water consumed, we are replenishing 2.36 times of rainwater to the Mother Earth. The replenishment through variety of rainwater harvesting, different projects, that is how we are contributing significantly to increase the water table of the region. And we are also now recovering 1/3 of the In addition to that, rainwater recovery systems for potable water through treatment, which will touch in the next few months near 100%. So the BWSSB water is led to the people. It is not used by the airport. All the pumping happens from different distances, long distances. All the pumping related carbon emissions also comes down related to that. So overall, we wanted to create a meaningful impact in the community so that the water is not wasted. The water stewardship focuses on equitable distribution to the people where we exist. Net zero carbon emission, I need not have to say, because this is something which today, when we talk about sustainability, one good thing is happening is everybody knows about climate change. And enough attention is going to on the climate change part of it. What will happen? Some doomsday predictions you would have seen in social media, net, YouTube's, different experts sometimes predicting what will happen if you don't take care of global warming. If our Mother Earth gets heated up too much, yeah, glaciers melting, ocean level rise, then what will happen? Any of you in the eastern coast, western coast, Orissa, West Bengal, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, anybody from there? Okay. Nothing will happen, don't worry. But if you don't act on it, there are chances of water coming inside, which will have a detrimental effect in the cities nearby. And if it keeps on increasing at one point of time, we don't know, this entire world may be submerged with the ocean also. So the climate change is something already we are facing. The intense rains, high intensity rains, within 15-20 minutes, several centimeters of rainfall, unseasonal rains, all those things already started. I will here tell only one thing to you. Lot of things we would have heard about 1.5 degree, 2 degree approaches. Many times people will ask, what is that degree approach in climate change, global warming? That is the first thing we should know in climate change. Pre-industrial area, there was a global temperature was there. So when I say 1.5 degree approach to reduce the global warming, we should not allow the Mother Earth to increase its temperature beyond 1.5. When I say 2 degree, from pre-industrial area to 2100, the temperature should not increase beyond 2 degree. It may look a very small number. If in a percentage terms, we are always used to it like 1 and 2, it looks like a very small number. But 1.5 degree and 2 degree is something extremely significant events if it goes beyond 2.2 degree and 1.5 degree. That is where the global warming happens. All are human-induced things. In pre-industrialization era and to this temperature, this have to be done. How many of you believe that we can achieve this target as a globe? At least 2 degree target. Since many of you have not raised your hands, I am very happy you are going to raise hands for 1.5 degree itself is possible. Why you are asking for 2 degree? So I take comfort in that. So yes, 1.5 degree is what you are advocating, and the clock is ticking. If you don't act on it, it will not be. Today we are an organization as a carbon neutral, set our eyes on working on a net zero emissions target. If only a handful of organizations does it, is that sufficient to reduce the global warming? One country does it, it is sufficient? It has to be a global movement, because each one of us have to contribute from individual level to corporate level to the country level to the global level. That is how this collaborative journey happens across the globe. I will stop over here for a few minutes. I am only talking. Anybody wants to clarify anything till now what we spoke? We have to give that space, because what happens? Too much of loading into the mind, and then in the end you will forget what you want to ask. Please.
So you said you are water positive by 2.36 times. Now, is it possible only because they are green airports, you have such large land holding, or otherwise also it could be possible?
Good question. We are blessed with land also is one reason. And there are multiple ways to do it, depending upon how much we are, two things contributes. One, you rightly said how much land we have. Even when an organization has very less land, if their consumption is low, they can become water positive. So it is both the parameters we have to see. what is the level of consumption, and then how much is the catchment available. Then take it beyond the campus also to the watershed. Within the same watershed, outside the community also, so that that watershed improves. So multiple approaches possible depend on a specific scenario, and it's quite possible. Okay, circular economy. You will ask, like, what many of you, if you are an architect, you must be wondering, like, what is the role of an architect in all these things we are talking? How many of you believe that architect has a significant role in all these things? Wow, almost everybody raised your hands. So I'm on a right track. Thank you very much. So circular economy, very familiar name, right? We talk a lot about it. Circular economy, linear economy, we have to shift to circular economy. All these things in one word, if we summarize, resource efficiency. The resources, what we use, how responsible we are. There are multiple R concepts are there. We are focusing on a 9R principle now, wherein which from the initial stage to the entire life cycle stage, how we can do it. It's not an easy journey. It's a tough journey. Because it involves your supply chain also. It is not everything in our control. If tomorrow, if Christ University also decides that I wanted to be in 100% circular economy, it is not that only you can do it. You need to your partners, your supply chain, whoever sends you the materials, what you buy, and all these things have to be a collective journey over there. So, but this is the one which is going to save us a lot. Like all other principles and pillars, this is something where each individual coming into in life every day. For example, if you buy plastic-oriented packaging, and the more and more awareness is coming, like if it has to be used for some applications which we can't eliminate, as we said, sustainability is a balanced approach, how responsible we are collecting, recycling it, sending it back to the value chain, reverse supply chain, so that it comes back to the product cycle, one product or other. If it goes back to the same process, how it can come back. Here, the collective responsibility happens. 10 years back, I was staying in one place in Bangalore, I will not name it. The association decided, that time it was not very stringent in that place, if my memory is right, but association decided that let's do all segregation so that people will be able to send it to the recyclers. So we did it. Even municipal corporation was pushing for it. Government is for that, we have to do it. Association also wanted to do it something beyond that. All the dustbins were done, notice board, everything had been put. This much of plastic segregations, solid wet waste, dry waste, and everything. Then they employed somebody to go and give it to the BBMP guy who was coming. You know what happened? And they also said, if you don't do it, 500 rupees fine for first instance, second instance, some 1,500 or something, 3 instances. 4th time, we will not pick garbage from your home, everything. It went on for some time. Once we thought, like, what is happening? Let's find out. Such a beautiful thing, we brought it. The guy whom we kept from association side to pick it and go and give it to guy was not educated properly. He put all the bins into one bin and gave it to BBMP. So BBMP also, I think, gave a fine to the association. So this is where the awareness parts comes in, where we have to make people understand why we are doing, what for we are doing, and how we are doing it. This how part is very, very important. Tomorrow when you go into the corporate life, your own professional life, whatever sphere you go into, this how part is very, very important in my personal opinion, because keeping a target and then say, have got, for example, mathematics and term 100%, one has to get it. This is a target. And how part is very, very important, how we achieved it. Yeah, I'm sure now also education system is like that in schools. I see like steps carries mark. In some of the organizations where I worked, in the corporate life I have seen, where I am working, the how part is what will make you 100% wholesome. Results are very, very important, and how we achieve results are equally important. Without focusing on how part, the results are not always guaranteed. So always keep in mind, in whichever profession you are, I don't know the composition of it, architecture, engineering, whichever profession, why we are doing it, what we are doing, and how we are going to do it, understand the impacts of it, positive and negative, so that we can do a meaningful contribution to the Mother Earth and whole of the globe. I said a lot of things. Many are in our direct zone of influence in life. There is something which I just touched upon on circular economy related to procurement. Is it easy, sustainable procurement? Before giving order, if you tell your potential partner, this is the sustainability you have to bring into me, and signing a contract, will it work? Simple, no? How many of you agree? Nobody agrees. Wow. Yes, it will not work. We have to bring in a system, framework in the supply chain. We have to handhold them. We have to create. And there are a lot of complex supply chains exist across the organizations. We don't know sometimes the face of the supplier from whom you are getting, from where you are getting the materials or the services. Because today in a virtual world, not all are tangible products and services what we are having. There are a lot of intangibility into it. So there we need to have a very, very structured framework to handle people. Toughest journey because they don't listen to you. Because I understand this because throughout my near 3 decades of career, I worked with most of the time with maximum people who doesn't report to me. I will not have any authority to rate them, but I have to get the work done from them. That is how the procurement supply chain also, where you have to make them happen because we also want them to be cost competitive, right, as a human nature. Today we go and buy in a shop, we will also see cost as an important factor. Does that mean sustainability doing is going to increase the cost? There is no payback in sustainability? Pardon me, one more question. How many people raise your hands? Sustainability is also a payback. Good numbers of you are believing it. So we are all on right track. So sustainability, it is not only ensures our resources, start from your concept, designing as engineers, architects, and whatever profession you are. It also leads not only to sustainable future of the globe where we exist, it also takes care of our current short-term, medium-term, long-term. By and large, I would say, in my personal opinion and experience, whatever I've learned, 99% I would say, sustainability is a payback. Only difference is whether it is short-term, medium-term, or long-term. As human nature, sometimes what we will think, a long-term payback we may consider as not a payback. But if you see that if you don't do it, we don't exist, then actually it is a much more priority payback. So that is why sustainability is not like you go for a green building, you will invest in a green building. It was all in the beginning, those concepts were like that. Now we have evolved a lot as a globe. So all the workplace things, the type of well-being and architectural things comes into it. It has a lot of tangible value, intangible value, and all we have to see it as a 360-degree wholesome. So that way, you people have a very, very larger role to play because you people are the people who will, I strongly believe, who comes out of the colleges without any bias in mind, because a lot of learning sometimes make us a bias. Somewhere I read in a psychology thing. Too much of learning also sometimes, that day I did it, it happened like this. This day I did it, it happened like that. So too much of mind also goes into it. It is good to think like that and mitigate the risk, everything fine. But the youngsters who comes out of, fresh out of colleges with the fresh ideas, fearless. When you keep this in mind from beginning, you know what to do, what right to do. Here I will ask one career-related question. How many of you believe if you want to contribute to corporate sustainability, you have to be in a sustainability team? Not even a single person. Very nice, huh? You people are very silent, but silence is a powerful language. So you are actually communicating because it's really fantastic. You need not have to be in sustainability team. My colleague Funny is from architectural background. He was in projects for some time. Then he moved into sustainability. Many people are working in their same work life and adding to sustainability. I did chemical engineering almost 30 years back. If you ask me, I really don't remember the basic chemical engineering, what I read those days, which I was told a Perry's equation, which I should remember at night 2 o'clock if I am, if my professor wakes me up also, I should tell. I am searching that Perry's handbook. One day I took a very big bulk book, which my father and myself walked in one street for half an hour and searched and bought that book. In my lifetime, 50 years, I have not read that book fully. And what I read also, I don't remember. What I mean to say is, do you mean to say what I read, whatever I read is wrong or not required in my life? No. Everything contributes in every part of our life. Something comes till the end, something unconsciously it will be helping us. No reading goes waste. Not even a single experience in life, personal or professional experience will go waste. We have to see the application of it, how we apply. Why I leave these thoughts with you people is, we should not get, carried away by like, it's a separate domain. Sustainability is something, if I again have to summarize, it starts from individual, it takes us to the corporate, society, nation, and globe. It is in a way, a bottom-up approach. We should not see this as a top-down approach. We are sustainability individuals, then professionals. So whichever work you are doing, you have a role. We all have a role. You and me and everybody have a role to contribute to sustainability. The quantum of contribution may vary, but in this, every drop counts. So that way, I can proudly say all of you are sustainability professionals. Though you will be working in whichever profession of your choice you are working, you have a choice to contribute. All these pillars and everything what we saw, each one need contribution from multiple domains. There is no single domain, including, though I have got a privilege to claim like head sustainability of an organization wherever I have worked, I just cannot claim. Tomorrow if I come and say like one team did it, you can just forget to clap also, because it cannot happen. Then it is something which we are taking too much pride on what is. It is just we are all a catalyst. So we are playing a catalyst role. Each professionals from various domains, utilities, architectural, engineering, mechanical, asset care, maintenance, safety, health, well-being, all these things comes into it. Diversity and inclusion, governance, all put together. It's a 4,000-acre campus. In our own experience, if I have to share, there are several hundreds and thousands of people who contribute to it. Why I touched upon that is, many times I interact with the youngsters, especially the new joiners, straight from campus interviews and colleges. Sometimes this word domain specialist comes into picture. Yes, there may be something from a technical point of view. In some domains, it's a specialization required. But what I mean to say is, from a sustainability point of view, don't think sustainability is a domain. Sustainability is a general subject. Each one of us can contribute. If we start believing it, whatever the domain specialities, we will learn over a period of time. So that is why I requested my colleague to also accompany me. In the break, he will interact with you if you have any queries, how the job transition has helped him. And he doesn't have any plans to continue as a sustainability professional. He wants to be in his core architectural. He wants to keep sustainability also to be contributing equally important with this learning, so that he feels that the output of his architectural output will be more sustainable design. Sustainable mobility, you know very well, it's all with respect to the clean and green fuels. Corporate social responsibility, we do a lot of work in the society in the field of education, health, water, and we have adopted some of the government schools and transformed it, which won several awards from the government. The holistic education, what we take them, train the trainer concept. Most important, sustainability we are teaching from the school days now in the adopted schools, and also encouraging many, the schools also to adopt it. And we are reaping that benefits. We are teaching and demonstrating that schools are water positive, water recharge systems. Correction, it's a water recharge systems, not fully water positive. The individual schools I'm telling, but the maximum possible water recharge systems. Renewable electricity, solar panels, whatever we talk, whatever we demonstrate within the organization, we try to demonstrate in the schools, the type of building and how we do it. So the seeing is believing. That is how the perception develops. In one of the United Nations conference recently we conducted in our campus, one principal came from one of the leading school in Bangalore. We asked her to give us her opinion at the end, what all the proceedings of the day, closing remarks of that sort. After her remarks in the final, she said, first teach us, we will teach our kids. Tomorrow you don't need any sustainability conferences like this in a decade. What she meant to say is, all these things we should get into our cultural DNA as a human being. We human beings are part of DNA. All of us should carry this DNA as a sustainability, which we are. That is how the world evolved from the days of evolution, theory of evolutions, if you see. I repeatedly keep boring people like this with one simple hope. The day we believe we are already contributing, we can do much more, the inner voice will start telling what we need to do. We don't need much to listen from outside unless we need some technical thing from outside. Otherwise, this how part of it will automatically come. It's easy to say. The moment it's practiced, it's like exercise. I failed in that many times. I set a target, I have to reduce every January 1st or some auspicious day, some family function day, I will say, today I will eat more, and then from tomorrow I will do more exercise, 10% weight I will reduce, which I never reduced 10% weight. I'll tell you where my failure is. Consistency is the thing. Sustainability is also consistency. How much you do is not important. What medical professionals say. Correct me if I am wrong. This is what I heard from multiple medical professionals. How consistent you are, so that you do it on even a trouble day. That is where it differentiates you, because that consistent small things makes you into that type of a reduction in weight. Why I took that example is many times we all do it. Actually, not necessary to reduce weight. If you keep a healthy thing, doctors say multiple views that it's not only the weight part of it, the healthiness part of it. So I am not a medical professional. I'll leave it to the best advice of the medical professionals. But what I mean to say, the point here is, what I understood from all these things, what we all of us we hear is, if we are above, our well-being weight recommended by doctors, if we have to do a particular fitness program as recommended by doctors, we have to be consistent. I'll link this to our strategy. Can any of you imagine, though we have been doing sustainability from the inception, we have changed gears and came out with this 2030 strategy, which we have shown some time back, that vision, pillars, foundational values, everything. Do you know any wild guess when we worked on it and published it? One C-letter word which terribly shook the world. COVID-19, Corona, whatever. That was the peak time. The management very clearly said, we are fighting for today, you fight for the future. So they gave the free hand to our teams, whoever collaborated on this. And management, our MD, spent lots of rounds of discussions with us and came out with this strategy in the peak Corona, when the entire world and our organization was fighting for that day survival. Why I am telling is that consistency is not broken. If we would have broken that consistency at that time, which we could have taken a comfortable call telling like, yes, we will do it later. Genuinely, sometimes we will say like, no, today let me put the fire under control and then look for the future. But we didn't do it, thankfully, to all the collaboration and the strong management commitment, which is helping us today. Otherwise, we would have, this 3.5 years, if we would have wasted, then it would have taken us back by a decade. So the exercise part, what the doctor says, is the same thing here, professional part I am trying to do. Whatever we do as recommended by doctors, we have to do consistent exercise. As recommended by sustainability professionals and sustainability requirements, we should do it consistently. We cannot afford to lose this consistency, because what will happen is, inconsistency takes us, it's a ruthless results comes up into that. So keep this word consistency in mind. Before concluding on that, repeatedly I insisted on that consistency, because if we do that small thing consistency, we will start valuing those small contributions. We will get self-motivated and we will be able to contribute much better. Here, I think I wanted to bring it one by one. Answer is already there, but still you can attempt it. Which is the right answer? We till now spoke about strategy. We spoke about culture. Our own contribution, consistency, behavioral strategy and culture, and how we demonstrate. And if we do that, what will happen? Each one of us will become brand ambassadors of sustainability excellence in our personal life and professional life. This is something, please believe, we are all sustainability professionals. You will not get a degree on sustainability by me telling you are all sustainability professionals. But your inner voice will tell you over a period of time, all right things, if once you do it, you will feel pride about it. And seeing you, 10 people will change. And that positive infection will take the globe to a next level. We set up a vision and aspiration for the future. And we also need motivation, right? What type of motivation? We should see some success. If not immediate, over a period of time. And the results also should be consistent. It's not that this year we got something great and next year is something, okay, we can relax and then see after 2 years. No, we have to keep on doing. And there is no end to it. It is like some of the, when you finish a level 0, people go to level 1, level 2, level 3. in various certifications and the type of thing, we have to keep going, increasing the benchmark and level. I will not read out this. You can just look at it. I can only sum it up telling like, the initial rate of success is quite encouraging. We are a water positive company, zero scope 2 emission, 100% renewable electricity, all those things. It didn't happen in one day. I want to leave it that one thought with you. This is more than a decade's work. And all these things, many of these things we have achieved in the peak corona time. The final end game of it happened during peak corona time. And on this solid foundation, we have strategized ourselves for the 2030. So for taking a leap forward. So I think my time ends at 3 p.m. May I take 2-3 minutes? Yeah. It's a green landscape because we wanted to sequester our residual emissions also. And I think your professor came to our campus sometime in October when we did a United Nations conference. We took a lot of pride in showing our green landscape, several hundred acres and things like that. She also, in a very humble tone, said, we also have a green campus. When you come, you will see that. Today, actually, I touched upon the way you guys are doing it. Very nice. So the green landscape is very important. Whichever organization, even in our home, if we have a space and we have a possibility to do it, we should see like how we contribute it. We should not cut it. We are a biodiversity hotspot, and all the tree location greater than 90-95% survival rate. These are all something your subject. I need not have to take much time on this. I will leave some message over here. We did recently a Terminal 2. We did a strategy. We are trying to build a voluntary culture, or I would say subconscious to conscious culture at an individual personal space level, while people will be contributing on the corporate space, how they can do it on the personal space, so we can make responsible citizens wherever we work later. But we also decided all infrastructure related things, the designs, the architectural part will be purely sustainable when we do it. We got an opportunity for the Terminal 2, where we have been certified by both United States Green Building Council, pre-certified platinum, and Indian Green Building Council, fully certified platinum. Platinum is the highest rating, just to give an understanding that this rating, the organizations which achieved this rating has excelled in all majority of the aspects of the green building principles. That heartens us, but we need to take it to the next level so that this journey continues. And these don't all happen because of the planners, designers, architects, the execution people, multiple teams within our organization, our external organization. This is very difficult for me to count and tell a number, that much amount of people's contribution, and this is the pride of Bangalore today. And that is all happened over a period of systematic planning and design. And tomorrow when you get into your personal, professional space, whether it is a personal, professional consultants in which we work, or you work in some corporates as per your aspirations, you all will be contributing wherever you work. Because 10-15 years back, green building concept was like something like we can't invest on it. Today, majority of the people agree it's also good for the organization and good for the mother earth, and also it is not something which is not, costly thing where we can't do anything. So all those things, anything new things, till it evolves, a lot of these hindrances will come. It's too costly, it is not for, sometimes it will say it is okay, it will be in some other climatic conditions in abroad or something in India. So more of a localized things you have to bring in. All concepts cannot be implemented straight away. So that is why we have a nursery when we have an international species to bring it to our green landscape. We have a nursery to nurture it. So this organization, this university, deemed university, is nurturing you all. And I'm sure with your right mindset, you are getting nurtured for a sustainable future. So I'm repeatedly telling each one of you are going to be the ambassadors of sustainability excellence in your work. One last slide and question. If you don't answer this, I will repeat from beginning. That will be I will not say punishment, it is something which very difficult to you to bear with me again. Thank you very much. You people have made my day because it's all self. What other things are not important? Yes, important. All are sustainability. We use the word starts from. We should not be waiting what is sustainability from external voice, from our inner voice. We should be seeing what is this the right thing I am doing? That should will take it into the larger, global level. I'm again telling, the right answer is self-individual doesn't mean all other things are not required. Equally important, respected, required. But the inner voice, if it doesn't start, how much ever from top down it happens, it will be only for the courtesy's sake or from authority matrix, like that people will be doing. If the top and inner voice matches, you will excel. Tomorrow, the world is going to tell sustainability as a voluntary license to operate. That is how the organizations are moving today. Because it's no longer going to be good to do, it's a must to do. We spoke a lot on our human race DNA. In our careers also, we spoke about a lot. I just kept this slide as a recap why we spoke too much on that. It's all about us. So let's start. One more time before you try to motivate me with claps. Please never ever, oh, you're telling, sorry, sufficient you are telling. Only one thing I'll request you. Please never ever think, as a summary I'm telling, sustainability is somebody else's job or some other domain's expertise. Everything in sustainability we can contribute. Today, if you ask me, I'm a professional, sustainability professional, can I contribute in every domain of sustainability? Definitely not. I need to collaborate, I need to partner with my teams and external and internal partners. So that limitations, we can always collaborate and overcome on that. But each one of us can do something or other in the sustainability from our individual space. Let's do the right things. And I'm sure you're all very bright students. I was repeatedly told by your professors. Wish you all a very good career, good aspirational fulfillment. All the best. Thank you. Take this out. Sorry, I think I should stand for some time for questions if you have anything. And break time, I am also available. My colleague is also available. I specifically brought him the moment your professor told it's all for architectural students also will be there. So he is more than willing to talk to you to see if you all any doubts, what challenges he had in architectural to sustainability when we did, what is positive and how we overcame his challenges. So his name is Mr. Fani Chandravarma. Fani, you show your face to, they can catch up with you in the break also. So he's a live example I thought I will bring over here. So that everything what I said in last 45 minutes may be looking something easy, but practicing sometimes difficult. What will bring that solution to overcome that? One C word, consistency. Thank you.
Are there any questions for sir?
Yes, I will ask one question. So thank you for the inspiring talk. So I'm a faculty here at School of Architecture. There's just one simple, I don't know if it's a question, but something which is running in my head. See, one thing we clearly know, like without changing culture, nothing can happen. And you know that we talk about self. On one hand, we want to talk about self. On one hand, on the other hand, there are policies, there are instruments which are trying to make us lazy all the time. So we have Blinkit, we have Zomato, you know, all these things, the way we travel, the kind of things we carry. Earlier, how you used to travel, and now how we are traveling, all that kind of things. And then there are these organization instruments which are trying to make our life easy, and which are not trying us to be conscious. Okay, and this is a big kind of challenge. On one hand, you are telling this is this, and on one hand, there is another drug which is making you feel like that. So when we talk about change in culture, and when you are showing all these examples, so the change in culture becomes like a tick mark. Okay, you put wet garbage in here, and that kind of culture we are talking, which is in a way very superficial. In one way. So I see where you see that because it doesn't need change, I think it needs a revolution now, because we are very late in a way. So where do you see, like, where you see that, other than that, because, as a country, India, we are not a country of policy. We make policy, but we don't follow, in a way. So we need some other kind of movements. So where do you see that opportunity?
I don't know whether I have understood your question, but I'll attempt it to answer. See, sustainability, I said it's a balanced approach. Because today, sustainability cannot be at, inconvenience to the lifestyle. Lifestyle changes are important wherever it is feasible and it is appropriate. Sustainability is also talking about well-being, mental well-being. So you can't eliminate one thing in sustainability, as I said. Like, for example, the cultural change is an aspect what the people demonstrates is whatever the government, whatever the organization and the policy makers bring in over here, for 100% implementation, which you said, the cultural change is not just a simple segregation. That is one of the example. So those things, there are rules, there are awareness programs, and if an inner voice also doesn't come, it doesn't match over there. That is where we are trying to see the inner voice realization also happens, these policy pushes, and what even at an organization level, if the top-down approach, when it comes down, wholeheartedly when people implement it, that is a success which happens faster. That are the live examples which try to share it. When it comes to, we have enough policies in the country. When it says the waste management, there are a lot of policies, extended producer responsibility, and the implementation also is happening now. But the entire thing what we are talking, I'm sure you're talking about scaling it up, how fast we can do it, how better we can do it, how we can do it in a very large mass scale. For that, I personally believe the policies, the technology, the infrastructure, everything is required. On that, this inner voice of, yes, I am also contributing this behavioral change, sustainability, when we say working on our strengths, what I was, in the beginning I was telling. It is not behavior means we are doing bad and we have to change it. We have to work on the strengths and we have to try and understand what the policy push comes and what happens from the top-down organization does it. So technology, infrastructure, everything is equally important. There is no doubt about it. In sustainability, I said that is why in the pillars, all are equally important. All the core foundational values are important. But if we don't receive what is coming from external with our inner voice resisting to it, then the progress becomes slow is the thought which we wanted to share. So it is a journey. For any successful organization or an individual, it doesn't happen overnight. That is why consistently we have to take this forward. There will be slips which we need to learn and keep taking it up. Always people should aspire to it. This is where it helps of seeing demonstration and perceiving what others are doing. Because everybody can't have the learning curve. We have to learn from others. That is why the collaboration part comes into it. So the demonstration leads to collaboration, consistency leads to implementation, and collective learning will help. And I've seen this not only in our organizations. If you see in all these forums, United Nations forums, when people do the best practices and everything, this is a type of a journey with initial resistance. When people's buy-in happens, it happens very faster. So everything is important. Life comfort is also important. We can't sacrifice just for it, but how responsibly we do it so that the future generations don't do it, so don't suffer. So this is a collective journey, will take time. Every level people have to keep increasing. We need to handhold each other and collaboratively to do it. To sum it up, my attempt to answer your question, how much ever you do with all those things, if I decided not to hear to somebody, I will not put my whole heart to it. Then my output will be reduced. So whatever technology, infrastructure, policy push to happen it in a much larger phase, we should be receptive enough to start perceiving things and start demonstrating is what is an attempt which we try to do. It's not easy. Sustainability, that's what I said, 45 minutes what we spoke, looks, everything is easy to do. It's not that easy to do, but it is not impossible to do. It is a journey. Even the best of the organizations with all the successes cannot claim I'm 100% sustainable. We have got a lot of achievements, but we can never ever even think in our own minds we have done something. Because these are all the initial steps, foundational steps, a lot more to be done. That is what is the need of the thing for the future. We need to take it forward. We have to keep learning from each other. I attempted to answer your question, but we can continue if you still want to discuss. Anybody else?
Hello, sir. Sir, we had a good talk on sustainability and what is our role on sustainability. I have a small question for you. We say that EV is the future, but if you see, most of the experts say that extraction of EV is even more harmful than most of the fuel-based products. So what is your say on that? It's a little different from what you said, but I just had the question.
Yeah. Most welcome. I'm just trying to see like how to connect it. See, in that way, even solar panels, there are questions like solar panels lead to zero scope 2 emissions. And then after 25, 30 years of its lifespan, whenever, how much of it is getting recycled, how much out of it is going to be discarded for the disposal part of it. These are all the questions on which people are working. The answer, my sincere attempt to answer your question is, these type of things, there is no 100% solution to any sustainability challenge. We need to see what are all the advantages and disadvantages, impacts, what is giving more benefits. We have to outweigh those options. There is no 100% solution. We do this, the entire thing will get changed. Even solar panels, people are working on it, how much to increase the recyclability rate. So what I have given to understand by various sustainable mobility solutions providers, there are a lot of research happening also to mitigate the impact of these EV batteries. All these technologies in the initial days will have the challenge, and the right thinking and right collaboration and the research works lead to a much better technology solutions at a later date. That will be keep on evolving. Yeah, I agree today 100% if you say like, this is the solution and all the problems get solved. Not for your example, I'm telling generally, there may not be a situation where one solution fits for all. So we have to see, outweigh the options. That is why I've been trying to repeatedly trying to share our experience also. Sustainability is a balanced approach. We have to outweigh the advantages and disadvantages, where the more advantages are there in a long term, how it doesn't affect, and how there is where the technology and research comes in. That is where the collaboration comes in. The researchers have to evolve. So this is a journey. If you see today's success, what we think like is a solution, 10 years back it was not a solution. Even green buildings today, what we talk about across the country and globe, 2 decades back or 10, 15 years back, people thought it's quite expensive and it doesn't have much value to me type of thoughts also we have come across. Today the technology has evolved, the type of materials have come out at an affordable prices also, the type of material. So we believe this is an evolving journey which will take us into step-by-step results, but we should keep outweigh the advantages and disadvantages and keep doing the right things and try to implement the solutions as and when available. I think the other speaker is also waiting. Then we will continue in the break. If at all any questions, I think people are staring at me, not the speaker, the others. I think I occupied 60 minutes of your space. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for an insightful session. I'm certain that each participant has derived substantial insights from